some good times had by those who remember what Mama said. Mama said is the name of the game. And what Mama says is what Mama gets from the SFP studios. Mama is right and always right. We hold our flags high as we march to the tune of her music. Because Mama said is the name of the game. On Monday nights, sure we know what to do and what to say, because we love our mamas, and that's the fact, Jack. Mama said is the name of the game, and what Mama says is what Mama gets from the SFP studios. Mama is right and always right. We hold our flags high as we march to the tune of her music. Because Mama said is the name of the game. Mama said is the name of the game. And what Mama says is what Mama gets from the SFP studios. Mama is right and always right. We hold our flags high as we march to the tune of her music. Because Mama said is the name of the game.
Well, good Monday evening and welcome to Southern Fried Podcast. Mama said,
Howdy ho, everybody.
I'm Rob.
I'm
That's
Elizabeth.
And way over yonder is Dave. Richard, you got to focus. You got to point at Dave.
There's Dave.
No, that's pointing at me. You got to do it backwards.
Well, according to the way I'm looking at it, I'm pointing at Dave.
Backwards on mine. You're pointing at me. They're going to think I'm Dave.
That's
Yeah, there you go. Now you point at Dave. I'm very good this evening, Miss Elizabeth.
I'm doing great. I got 2 more days with kids.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
she
And I only had 11 show up today.
You ain't going to know how to act.
Huh?
You're gonna be looking for some kids to go around.
Oh no, I am not.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you I am not.
I'm sure.
Nope.
I
am thoroughly going to enjoy my summer with my grands.
Yeah.
Yeah, my baby girl turned 1 year old Sunday.
Oh, the baby girl.
Yes.
Oh.
She was a hoot too at her little birthday party Saturday.
Look here, you little snot. This little guy here has been all over me all day long. Look at that. Look at that face, Dave. Look at that face. Look how sweet.
I'm waiting for the little wiggly eye.
I've been told that would be mean.
Who told you that?
A lot of people. It would be cool though. I still. How would I put it on there? Super glue?
No, you get a sticky one.
We go super.
But if I put it on his own eyes.
I really, really want to go around Walmart and do that. I'm going to probably this summer.
What? Just put googly eyes up everywhere?
Yes.
You get like chicken noodle soup where it's got two O's right there.
Yes.
Put eyes on them.
Yeah.
Chicken soup.
That's gonna be funny. I might film it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You need to.
that always becomes a Southern Fried exclusive if we get something like
Yeah.
that.
Yes. That'd be hilarious.
I remember me and Dave walked around Walmart one night looking for the chupacabra.
Oh, good Lord.
We got some strange looks. It was fun.
I bet you did. I can imagine.
We heard there's been a chupacabra sighting in here. What's a chupacabra?
Were you
One
in
girl knew
South
what a
Georgia
chupacabra
or
was,
North
though.
Georgia?
Huh?
Were you in South Georgia or North Georgia?
North Georgia.
Oh, good heavens.
There was even a girl there that knew what a chupacabra was.
Uh-uh.
Yes.
Listen, honey. That shocks me.
I know. You know, shocked me too.
Look, let me tell you some things about living in the Atlanta area that really gets my goat.
Yeah. We want to hear about your goat you got.
Traffic. It really brings out my inner rage.
Does it make you want to walk by and pass gas on people?
No.
Okay.
You know what it really wants? I want some of those things on my car that you can type messages on. I want on the front windshield and on the back windshield.
I have thought about that myself, but that's not legal.
I want one on the back windshield that says, "Unless you're ready to meet Jesus, get off my bumper." and I want one on my front windshield that says, "Do you really know how to drive?" And then when I'm really stuck on the interstate because of rubberneckers,
yeah,
I want one that says, I want to change the message that says, "It's all your fault, you stupid rubberneckers." Because y'all know as well as I do, it's their fault that traffic is backed up for miles and miles and miles. If they would just go on and quit looking for dead people on the side of the road, traffic would be going. It makes me very violent on the inside.
This is actually a perfect segue, and we haven't even talked to anybody else about it. But me and Rob have a new show that we're going to adjust Wednesday nights, the second part, and we're going to have the Southern Fried vent, and it's going to be perfect for stuff like this right here.
Yeah.
We don't think we'll have any shortage of people that want to complain about stuff and vent. It's a public service to the community.
Y'all had not even told me that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We've only been talking about it for a couple of weeks.
We're going to do that on Rumble Premium, I think.
Yeah, we'll start out with regular Rumble, then it'll be an hour long, and we'll go to Premium the second half. But that
you'll be able to email them in. Come on live, bring them up in chat, whatever you want to do.
I think it's going to be a big hit. And we're going to start in June, so we might as well just go ahead and announce it because it's coming. Because this is perfect. I can't waste that. That was like beautiful.
That's perfect.
That could have been the promo for the show.
We'll clip it out.
Yeah.
Clip it out. Use it, honey. Use it. I'm glad I could be a service and didn't even know I was being a service.
Well, that's just how great you are.
I know.
And see, I wanted one of those scrolly things too a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It says something like "horns broke, watch for finger."
Well, you know they got one that you can do a finger. They got the little hand.
Oh.
And you can make it give the finger.
Hey, I was at Walmart the other day, and there's these two people walking across the, front of the store there to go to their car, and they weren't dragging along. I was sitting there. I was waiting on them to move because I was going to go up and go into the store. And there's this lady coming along. Don't take this the wrong way, Miss Elizabeth, please. Because I know Miss Elizabeth, we already saw she's a 10 and 2 lady. She's got them hands up there on the steering wheel. Yeah. But there's a lot of spinster ladies who drive like that, right up on the steering wheel. And
I know that
she laid on the horn. She laid on the horn. I mean, there was no other traffic. They were the only two. And she just didn't like it because she thought they should have been going faster. And they were so into their conversation, it was like it was like a delayed reaction, like the lady in the crowd, like you can see it hit her like a ton of bricks, like she's blowing at us. So she walks back up to the car and flips her off right in her window. But the spinster lady, she never took her eyes. She's all this, you know. That's exactly the way she looked.
That's funny.
Blowed the horn at them because she didn't think they were walking fast enough. My gosh.
I think we ought to start carrying air horns with us.
Oh gosh.
Everywhere. We should carry air horns. And like when someone blows their horn at you, you blow your horn back at them when you're walking across the parking lot. Or if they leave their buggy sitting out in the middle of the parking lot instead of putting it in the corral.
That drives me crazy.
Let them have it. Let them have it. There's a jerk over there. Look where they left their buggy.
Put the buggy back or the cart back.
Yeah, it's a buggy. We in the South.
And then later, I heard somebody holler. You know, somebody was just hollering.
Yeah.
And I thought it was some kids. That was the other side of the parking lot. But after a few minutes, I don't know how long, I think I was watching Killer Carl's show. I saw this lady walk up to the portable cameras. You know what they got in some of the parking lots? You can rent those. They're tied into your system, though. They run off of solar. Well, she goes up, and she's looking up at the camera, having a full-on argument with the camera. And I heard a couple of F words, and she was waving her arm and all that. And then she walked away, and she walked back up to her. She said, that wasn't really proper for me to say that like that. But you know what? F you anyway. And just hollered and screamed and then turned around and walked off. So I saw her hollering at somebody, so I thought I better go over and have a talk with this lady. Well, needless to say, she's bombed out on drugs, bad. But I asked her, I said, hey, listen, why are you hollering back here? I mean, you know, because I don't bother you unless you're causing a disturbance. But I said, why are you doing all that hollering? She said, oh, I got to check in with my cop friend, Tony the cop. We don't even have Tony the cop that works there. But I said, well, I don't think that they watch those cameras all the time. Only if they need to, they can pull them up. And she looks at me with this funny look, and she goes, facial recognition, baby. Facial recognition. When I look in that camera, it automatically tells Tony the cop that I'm here.
Oh, Lord.
I thought, and so it gets better. One more minute. So I'm talking to her. She's asking me, you know, she's trying to set up a picnic area or something with all her canned goods and stuff she's collected from somewhere. I don't know. She was never mean or anything. She just was whacked, you know. So she asked me if I could. I said, well, you know, where are you from? Of course, she said East Ridge.
That explains a lot.
I probably shouldn't say that like that, but she said, well, I'm from East Ridge, and I thought, well, that does explain a lot. I said, well, what are you doing here? It's dark, you know. How you getting home?
Hey, for our followers at East Ridge, I don't necessarily agree with his sentiments on that. And I'm just going to throw that out there.
Quit, but you were laughing. So,
I was laughing.
So anyway, the girl, I about fell out of my seat on this one. So the lady says, hey, could you charge up my phone? I need to talk to my friend. And I said, and I wasn't lying, you know, I really don't want to start doing stuff like that, but I've got like a fuse blown or something in the patrol car. So the only one I had was the spot that I was charging my phone on. I said, I really don't have a spot for it. And I said, I'm sorry. She goes, I said, she said something about a power block. And I said, oh, do you have a power block? That'd be good. She goes, she looked at me. She said, am the power block. What the heck does that mean? You got to plug the cord in your ear? And the power block. So she told me, she said, I would have already been out of here, but somebody stole my bike. Well, wouldn't you know it? God has a sense of humor. I mean, I know He does. Because right at that moment, like after she tells me that, there's a lady crossing with a bike. So I don't know. Hey, is that your bike that lady's got over there? So they like dead lock onto each other. So this other lady's got to be wondering why we're staring at her. And the lady's like, the lady I'm talking to is like pointing at her. And they're just like in a cat stare off or something. I mean, I'm like, what the heck? I said, is that your bike or not? And she never said anything. The lady just went on out in the woods with her bike. So then about that time she turns and she's screaming at somebody, hey, give my bike back. That's my bike. And I look back into the parking lot. All I got to say is I don't know what she was seeing, but there wasn't nobody there. It was bad.
Dave, I apologize. Hey. Yep. East Ridge for sure. I'm sorry, Dave. East Ridge for sure. I am the power block.
She is the power block. She had, it's a sad situation. I mean, I don't know. Pray for her. I mean, seriously.
You were trying to cause a war.
She was smashed. I just asked a question, and I thought they were going to.
No, you were trying to cause a war. Hey, is that your bike? Yeah. You was going to get some entertainment, some free entertainment. I just see you calling the law now. Yeah, we need a deputy out here at the Walmart. There's this lady over here stole another lady's bike, maybe. And they fighting all over the parking lot about it. Dude, they done pulled the weaves out. They done used to using a bras, a double barrel shotgun, slingshot. You better get on out here quick.
And apparently while that was going on, two guys got in an argument in front of a car because one of the managers was telling me or asked me about it if those guys ever got okay. So I was dealing with crazy lady down the bottom of the parking lot. She said when there was two guys got in an argument in front of their car about who won some game or something that's about to get in a fight over it.
Oh, heavens.
That'd been like me and you looking for the chupacabra. I found it. No, you didn't. Yes, I did.
I mean, it was really mild Saturday night until then.
I bet you.
She finally left, she said, I will move along. I said, I appreciate it. I'm almost certain she was probably doing some heroin. Wow. I detected a couple things that made me think that, but horrible. You just don't know what you're walking up on. I'm telling you, I drove up. I'm not walking up on that. But
you're going to be able to roll the window up if you need to.
Dang right. I told the manager about it. They're like, well, we don't have a cop named Tony.
She might have got him confused with her tiger.
Yeah. I got one more. They told me when I got there, there's a guy there in a camper. He'd been there for a little bit. They just hadn't dealt with it. So they like for me to go out there. So I got there and knocked on this. Huh?
I said, oh, fun.
Yeah. So I go out there and knock on this guy's, he's got the generator going on, the camper connected to a truck, and there's a motorcycle there. This guy comes out. He says, what's the problem? I said, well, they want me to let you know that you need to be looking to move on, Move on! Oh, he come all unglued. Oh, they're running there's all kind of people out here. Why are they picking on me? And I'm going to sue them. So he just goes on all this rant. And who told me that? What was his name? I'm taking names. I'm like, look, man, you go talk to him. I don't know. But I asked him, I said, and the manager had said, hey, there's a BMW out there. Also, it keeps moving around. I don't know who's got that BMW. So I look around. The BMW's parked right behind his camper. I said, hey, you don't know who that BMW is? He goes, that's mine. This dude has a pickup truck with a camper, a Harley, and a BMW, all while he's camped out on Walmart parking lot. I said, how do you move all this stuff when you do move? He said, those are my secrets. Ain't none of your business.
He
My
teleports
secrets.
it all.
I said, you know what? I really don't care. I was just passing conversation. So he started asking me questions. I'm like, Ain't none of your business.
Hey,
Camper, for those of you that watch Doctor Who, that camper's the TARDIS.
no. This is like Eastridge. It's the tar dis. Tard is.
You know,
Not the TARDIS, the tard is.
there's an area, and listen, all of Eastridge ain't bad, but there's an area between Eastridge and Brainerd that turns into another world.
Oh yes,
There is no doubt, and there's no
and that
doubt
part
what
of the
you might
interstate's
meet.
included in it.
Do what?
And that part of the interstate's included in it.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's no doubt.
Oh yeah. It's like a spillover from the Twilight Zone. So it's like a part of Rossville just magically appears right there between Eastridge and Brainerd.
Dude, it's like it's like also the Bermuda Triangle too.
Yeah.
You ain't careful, you might get lost.
Well, you get over there, I also like Loch Ness. You get over there and get Nessian around, you will find yourself in trouble. How much money people have? I don't know how many people became homeless to save money. Yeah. Well, there are stranger ways to go about it, I guess.
So anyway, the guy goes in the store. He does. He goes in the store to argue his point. So he goes in there and he cries and says his truck's broke down. So they text me and they said, "Did he say his stuff was broke down?" I said, "Oh no, he just told me it's none of my business." So she got all over the manager and said, "You're getting photobombed there." She
Yeah.
said, She said that she told the manager, said you got played. Said the guy's, he got 3 more days. So I think tomorrow he's supposed to be out by tomorrow. So I'll have to check when I go back on Saturday. But you never know what you're going to run into. It's crazy. We could have our own. I tell you, it's like any reality TV. We could have our own reality show, Security Files. I'm telling you, when I was on patrol, I would have had multiple stories a week. It would have been perfect.
I could do teaching stories. I just
I
have
can do
to change,
Waffle House stories.
I just have to change the names to save the innocent.
We'll come up with some good Southern names.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, kids will tell their parents' business. Let me tell you. You think they wouldn't, but they would. Because when we was doing Red Ribbon Week, Red Ribbon Week is about um not doing drugs.
Right.
And dude, you got to quit now. And so, we're watching the videos on about the, not doing drugs and stuff like that. And it shows cigarettes and it shows like this is how old the video is. Or they may have just thrown it in for older kids. I don't know. Like the paper rolls and stuff like
Yeah.
that. One of the kids said, "Hey, that's like the stuff my daddy uses to roll here." Just quit right there, man. Just quit.
Stop.
I can't hear no more. No, 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 no.
That looks like I'm Daddy's crack pipe.
And then it's like that night we having a little carnival. Hey, man, your kids telling you business.
Yeah.
You know, your kids telling you business.
I
You need to
watched
quit.
a 4-year-old one night. This has been, golly, 35 years ago. But I watched a 4-year-old take paper and make them out of rolling paper out of it, and then take other paper and break it up into the pot to put in there and roll it up. That's how much they had seen.
Listen, at the old school where I taught at before I went to this one, opening the doors for kids to get out. Parents would be smoking it with the kids in the car. You open the door, you get a contact high. You be smoking. hot all day long.
Wow.
Be smelling like skunk all day long. At least get something that don't smell like skunk. They got so
Yeah.
many flavors.
I know my oldest daughter, her grandpa was a preacher. And way back in the day, I was known, I still am, but back then I was a lot worse about it. I throw out a bad word every once in a while. And at that point in time in my life, the F bomb was one of my favorite words. But I was real careful about using it around my youngin. And she got where she was talking good. And she started hollering her favorite word. She was, "Uck!" And she'd go a little more and go, "Uck!" And she was doing it in church. She was doing it around her grandpa. She was doing it around her mama, out in public. Uck! You ain't never seen a daddy so proud of his daughter for learning the letter D in your life. Because everybody was giving me that eyeball when she was screaming up, and she's screaming duck, but they didn't know that. But when she finally learned how to say it, she was like, duck, duck, And I was like, oh, I love you, honey. Thank you. Oh my gosh, the looks I got. Mm.
Wow.
That's funny.
Could you imagine if you'd have been in that situation, Dave?
No, I couldn't imagine, to be honest. Barry
You know
says
it.
you're officially retired, Miss Elizabeth.
I'm sorry,
Not
did
yet.
what?
Barry said that you're officially retired.
Not yet.
Yeah. After, well, at the end of this week, and then I've got 3 days next week.
Ah, so not
Yeah.
officially yet.
Yeah.
Close.
Doggone close.
I got two guys in my church that says they're retiring within 3 months. One's a nurse,
Mm.
one's a truck driver.
Be
They
so
said
glad.
they said the healthcare system they can have the politics, and the truck driver is about like you. He's sick of the traffic and everything else.
Yeah.
So they're both I think around 63 and gonna step out.
And then I'm just going to be praying for the Lord to send me a good man, good
Hey,
Christian man.
hey, folks, we're on a real close here. We may be able to celebrate tonight during this
Yeah.
show. We are closing in on 50,000 followers. I'm tracking it right now. We are 11 away, 11 followers
No,
away from 50,000.
Yes.
So I think we
no.
may hit it during the show. So
49,989.
yeah,
We need
that's the latest
11
numbers.
more followers. Fine.
Fantastic.
Chuck, get off your little orange butt. Go in there and follow us. Do it. Don't just lay over and sleep. What is your issue?
And we have an ambitious goal next year to make that 150,000 by the end of year two. So
Oh,
We're going
wonderful.
to build
That's
love from
great.
year two, from year one.
we're going to work it hard. So
Yes.
I
So
can
if you haven't liked, followed, or subscribed, please do. That will help us get these last 11 in.
So, when I was, before I was teaching, like when I was first started working, I always used to work in the restaurant business. Um, my dad, he was manager at Long John Silver's in Dalton, Georgia for 21 years. And so, of course, that was my first job. And then I had a sister that was the manager at Waffle House. So I did that for a long time. And, being a waitress and stuff like that, you would always get people that would come in. And sometimes it was men, and some, that would, well, hey, darling, how you doing? And,
Oh,
you know, you could always tell who it was and if they meant anything
yeah.
bad about, or if they meant, if they was just good, friendly folk or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, you would also, and if you could say anything back to them, well, I'm good, hon. How are you? And it was just polite Southern conversation.
Yeah.
But then you would get these married men that would be rude about it,
Mhm.
you know, that would have their wives in there with 'em. And that's when it would get,
Yeah.
you know, it would be, sometimes it would get too far, but you would be backing off. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. You wouldn't say anything to them, but they would be the ones that would be trying to bring up, well, hey, darling, you know,
Yeah.
what you doing today? So, have y'all experienced anything like that as men who
We
left
have,
our
and I'm going to
faith?
venture in that. I want to share my
Yeah.
Long John Silver story real quick, since
Oh,
you
please
said
do.
Long John Silver's, but it wasn't Dalton, it was Fordo. Uh, that at one time was a very busy. They've just moved it. I don't know if you know this, Miss Elizabeth. They built a new one. It's up on the boulevard, the Parkway now. It's not on the place it was always at. They've closed that down. But
Mm-mm.
I used to come one night. I never was big on stopping at Long John Silver's. I don't even know why I stopped there that night. It was one of those long, hot, brutal days in the mill. I mean, hot. You're just beat. And I went in. I don't. I think the drive-through was backed up or something. It was a busy night, but I got up there pretty quick. And if I remember, I think they were giving out these. I think that's why I went in or something. They had this deal where they were giving away mugs, drinking mugs, for
Mm-hmm.
with a certain deal. So I went in to pick out the mug I wanted. So I told them which one I wanted, and they bagged everything up. I got home. I was telling my wife about it. I got this mug down there. I said, well, honestly, back in those days, I think I was probably having her wash it to cool it down with a cold beverage. We'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
But Lynn comes back and says, "Hey, there wasn't no mug in there." I'm like, "No, it's like, no, I got to go back. That's my mug. I want my mug. So she said, "Hey, I'll ride with you. I'll go in there." So I said, "Just go up the counter and tell them, hey, I just came through there. Your husband and he didn't get his mug. Just get the mug." Well, she come back to. I've shared a story a long time ago, but she come back and she was all upset. I said, "Did you get my mug?" She goes, "No, they called me a liar." I said, "That what? Excuse me? What? Liar? You heard liar? They called you a liar." Well, exactly what did they say? They said that I never come in there and I was making the story up just to get a free mug. And I don't need to hear no more. Please sit down. I'm going in. I come through that door. How they used to line up all the way to the door. Stand there.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
just went around the group. I'm rolling down on the left side of them, and some people are looking back like, "Oh man, this." You could tell I was mad when I come around that corner. Uh, that girl, whoever said it, somebody hollered out because everybody's looking by now. I mean, I don't know. Didn't they have the bell on the door or something when you come in? I must have hit that bell real hard because everybody was looking. When I came around that corner, that girl goes, "Hey, he did come in here. I saw him. I remember him. He was here. That's the guy." And the girl looks up, and I said, "All I want to know is who called my wife a liar." And you could have heard a pin drop in that restaurant. I mean, the people are eating, and everything stopped. The people in the kitchen, they got their ears up. "Hey, what's going on out here?" The manager, and there was this
Yeah.
little girl, and she says, uh, that was me. I'm sorry." I said, "You might want to check calling people liars." And
Yeah.
people were nodding their head. I
Good
got
for
I,
you.
I got my mug.
Was it one of the glass mugs?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go back.
Yeah.
You should have told them, now give me one for my wife too, because you called her a liar.
I think they gave her a piece of pie or something. I think that was, you know what, I'm okay, a piece of pie. But yeah, you don't do that.
No.
Oh, I was hot. Like,
I would have been too.
I mean, you just don't do that. Even if they are like, you take them to the side. I mean, they just hollered it out, like, oh, she didn't come in here. No, I don't remember that guy. You're a liar. Everybody heard it. So they done heard this said. It ain't been a minute, and I'm back in. They know what's going on. Like, oh. I said, don't ever call my wife a liar. I said, you can call me whatever you want, but don't you ever call my wife a liar. That's my Long John Silver story. Sorry, Long Johns.
I went to eat the other day at a restaurant. It's kind of a Waffle House knockoff. It's over in town close to where I live. It's not a Huddle House. It's something else.
Waffle King?
Mm-mm.
Then just tell
me. I'm not going to call the name. I'm not going to call the name.
Oh, my God, man. There ain't that many restaurants in that town. Everybody, I mean, we can look it up.
Well, you'll have to.
I know the name of it.
I go in there and I have hash browns. Okay. Now, I don't like my hash browns that are stacked this high with brown on both sides and just mushy all in the middle. I want them scattered out. I want them cooked well. So I tell them, I want my hash browns scattered and cooked well. And they bring me out a stack about this tall, lightly brown on the top and the bottom. It's all, I was like, and she said, I said, here's your hash browns. I said, I ain't eating that. It's not what I asked for. I said, y'all won't ever do my hash browns like I want them. I want them scattered out and cooked well. I said, look in the middle. They're still raw in the middle. I don't like them like that. I want them crispy. And so she goes up and gives them back to the cook. He said, this is wrong. He wants them scattered out and cooked well, like I said. He said, oh, burn them? I said, yes, burn the darn things. And you know what? I got my hash browns like I wanted them. I finally got them on like, yes. Thank you.
Funny.
Burn them? Yes, burn the darn things.
That's funny.
That's right, Barry. We didn't have a receipt to give on that because they forget to give you the receipt.
Yeah.
You know what, Barry? That many years ago, they never asked for no receipt. It was a trust factor. That was before my town turned into whatever it's turned into. This is back in the day when there wasn't that many people in Fort Oglethorpe. Everybody knew everybody pretty much. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. Nowadays, you gotta sign in your name in blood. Well, I did come through here. But to the point of the discussion tonight was the reason I said this was I've heard those kind things, and I it's a two-parter here. One is I've been called in the last month. Let's see, honey, sugar, baby doll, love, sweetie. I think a couple more. I've run out. I can't think of what they were, and I know they don't mean anything by it, but it just made me start thinking. Because I remember there was a guy that told me, and I won't say his name. He told me he went to a Denny's. I mean, if you go to Waffle House or Denny's or something like that, you're probably going to be called honey a lot. I mean, I'm just saying. One of them said honey to him, and he dressed them down and said, hey, let me tell you something. You ain't my wife, and she's the only one that called me honey. Don't do it again. Some people don't like that. First of all, do you think women do it more than men, or men do it more than women, and why? Why do they do it? What's the reason?
As a waitress, you have to be able to read your clientele. I mean, you really do. When they come in, You have to be able to read the person that's sitting down in your section. You can't just walk up to them and immediately start with, "Hi honey, how you doing today?" Or "Hi baby, how you doing today?" Not everybody likes that. Not everybody likes it, first of all.
I think Rob does. He's over there with a big grin on his face. I think he
I
loves it.
he's like that. He don't care. Uh, he 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 likes being called honey, sugar, love, darling. He likes all that because he don't get it at home no more. Um,
Hmm.
if he ever got it at all,
Chuck calls me dumpling every once in a while.
does he?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Uh, but times have changed from where it was more prevalent back in the late 80s and early 90s, where it was okay to do that more
Yeah.
than it is now.
But you really want to blow a waitress's mind here in South Georgia when they come out and bringing your drinks. They always do it. Okay, water, unsweet tea, sweetie, sweet tea. And every time they hand me my glass of sweet tea and they go, sweetie. And I go, did you just call me sweetie? And they're like, uh-huh. No, I said sweetie. That's what I said. You just called me sweetie. No, sweet tea. Yes, exactly. And you can drive them nuts with that. It's amazing.
I would look
They
at
just went,
dude,
ding. Huh?
I'd probably look at you and say, "Dude, you're crazy. We gonna get along just fine."
Well, let's break this down a little bit because I think there's a lot of levels to this. First
Okay.
of all, if an old geezer like Rob goes in and he says, "Hey, baby," to a 19-year-old, 18-year-old girl who's serving him, is that out of bounds?
It depends.
It depends the context in which the word baby is being used. If you're referring to her as, hey, baby, that's probably a little bit overboard if she's 18, 19 years old. Okay. The second part is if it's like, you're a baby. Hey, baby, you know, glad you're out here working and stuff. It depends on the context. You got to give some context.
So you don't think some of them old geezers at Waffle House ain't a little bit pervy? Ain't just a little bit pervy?
Sometimes they are, because I'm gonna tell you, when I worked there as a young girl, you know, 17, 18 years old, I was 16 when I started working there, and there would be some of these old men come in. I'm gonna tell you what, it kind of grossed me out. Just be- It did.
Kind of guys, it's the
I'm just
kind of guys that puts the quarter in the jukebox and goes, "Hey, baby, you want to dance?" And
Yes.
no.
he looks like he's
Rob
90 with no teeth.
would be the kind that would sit up at the bar top, and would sit there for an hour or two just drinking coffee
Yes.
and wouldn't leave but about a 50-cent tip, and take up your station the whole time. And, well, come here, honey. Come here, honey. I need a refill on this coffee.
Yeah, honey.
Come here, baby doll.
Come here, love dumpling. I need some more coffee.
And listen, how do I put, how, how do I put, okay, listen. I, I'm a curvy woman, okay? But back then I was not, okay? I had curves in the right places and didn't have them where I didn't need them,
Okay.
okay? I had a hot figure back then. I just
Yeah. Okay.
and. I was blessed upstairs.
Okay.
Okay. And those old men, they would make comments about that.
Oh, that's pervy.
Did they try to look down your shirt?
No, because thank the Lord you had to wear shirts that would be appropriately dressed, and you had to wear black pants. And, you know, thank the Lord you would be dressed from head to toe. Because
And you see, this is one of those circumstances where youth is wasted on the young. You could have just slammed them when they started with that. When they started, making comments about your breasts, go, they're not quite as big as yours. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
it's okay because my big sister was working the grill and my mama was working there.
Oh no!
My mama gave them hell. And so did my big sister. In fact, I had two big sisters working there.
Oh my God, just the family
And,
coming after you with a spatula.
Yeah.
and my sisters and my mama tore them up. I didn't have to do nothing. My sister would say, Elizabeth, I need this from the back. Go get it. And the next thing I know, those men was cashing out and going home. And my countertop was empty. And they wouldn't be coming back for a while.
There you go.
Well, it's like when years and years ago, I decided I wanted to get into the restaurant management business.
Hmm.
And I got a job working at Taco Bell, assistant manager, paid pretty good, paid salary. Then when I figured up the amount of hours that I was working compared to what I was getting paid, wasn't quite making minimum wage at the time,
Yeah.
you know. But but I love to work the drive-through because it just did so much for my self-esteem. It's like, hi, welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get for you today? Wah, 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 wah. Absolutely, sir. Come, please pull forward. And they pull forward. Did you get that order correct? I think so. I got a wah, 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 and a Diet Coke. No, that's not what I ordered.
Did you work the one in Whitwell? What was that?
Whipple. No, I worked the one up there close to Ooltewah.
Oh, good Lord.
That's when you should have said, well, can you just repeat it back to me so I can make sure I got everything correct?
No, because I wasn't that fast at working them buttons on that cash register. I needed them to go slow. But they pull up. Well, thank you, honey. Thank you, sir. Oh, I really appreciate you do a really good job, young man. Or you do this, you do that. Honey and sugar and all those things come flying out. I got sick of those men coming through there telling me all that. I just felt like a piece of meat.
You felt like a piece of it.
You're not right.
I'd have to tell him, hey, mister, I's here. I's here.
It sounds like the
That's up here, man.
that sounds like the
My
location of
eyes are
San
right here.
Francisco.
Boy, they told me that one guy told me I want a burrito supreme. I didn't know if he really wanted a burrito supreme or if he really thought he knew more about me than what I knew he knew. It's kind of scary.
And then you have those girls, young ones, well, and older ones too. I think sometimes they just try to see how big a tip they can squeeze out of you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
some of those gals get a little handsy.
Oh, hi, sugar. How are you today? Oh, you look so tense. Little to the left, little to the left. Yeah.
I know somebody that used to put a $20 bill on the table as soon as they would sit down, and it would sit there the whole time they were eating. And of course, the waitress was thinking, "Oh, that's
That's
what I'm
a
working
tip. Yeah. They put it in their pocket when they left.
for." Yeah.
That's it's like earlier today. Uh, I went through the restaurant up here at Colquitt. I ain't gonna call the name. There ain't but two fast food joints, you know. And there was some lady out there that told me she would go out with me on a date and give me a big blue cup of drink, if I'd go in there and buy her a cheeseburger. You know, I didn't know how much cheeseburgers were, but maybe I won't see her again.
It
Mm,
it just seems like to me it's happening more and more, and it may be, maybe, maybe it's since I've crossed that golden magical line called 60. Maybe I'm hearing it more. I don't know.
Dave, it's not happening any more or any less than what it's always happened. It's just that when some woman walks up to you now and goes, "Hi, honey," you're like, or "Hey, sugar." Or
Actually, that's not the response I have.
you do. It's just all on the inside. You may not do it on the outside, but you're like,
No,
"I'm
Rob.
still alive."
No,
Huh?
Rob. No, no.
No.
I find it a little cringy sometimes. It's so overblown. It's not that one off, kind of thing. It's like repeated over and over again, and they're going through these different ones. It's like, what are you trying to find the right one to see if I'll smile? I mean, what the heck? I don't know. It's weird, especially if I got my wife there.
yeah.
That's weird. Now, in saying all that, there is a fine line. I think Miss Elizabeth is an expert on this, and she knows how to read the room and read the person. There's a fine line. Just like there's a fine line between the cringy old guy who's just cringy and the old guy who's just a nice old guy, and
Yeah.
he don't mean nothing by it. They're two different kind of people. I think it's that way at every level. I think there's just
Hmm.
different kinds of people, and they use it in different ways.
Yeah.
We had one that would come in to the Waffle House all the time, and everybody knew him as Pops.
Yeah,
Soon as he came in, it was, "Hey, Pops, how you doing?" And he was the nicest old guy, and everybody loved him. And everybody knew what he wanted to eat. Everybody knew how he wanted his coffee, and he was the best to everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
it was, he would be like, "Hey, darling, how are you today?" But he didn't mean nothing wrong about it. Didn't it was He was always the best.
that was in
He
Dalton. That was in Dalton.
No, it was
I was
in
fixing to say he'd be called Pedro. He wouldn't be called Pops. I mean,
no,
oh,
Dave,
not when I was working.
Dave,
what?
Not when I was working.
Just honesty.
you can't talk about Little Mexico like that. I mean, Dalton.
They're, every restaurant down there except for a few chains are all run by Hispanics. Dalton's changed.
Yeah.
Look, that ain't true. The Chinese restaurants are run by Mexicans, and the Mexican restaurants are run by the Chinese.
Well, listen, if you ever go to Cahutta, they got two fabulous restaurants that's not run by Hispanics or the Chinese.
Oh,
And they got great
well,
food.
I don't know when I've been to Cahutta last time.
Well, They got two great restaurants.
So we're going to take a quick break here in a second. On the other side of the break, I want to stretch this a little bit and go into some other areas. Same topic, but maybe possibly out of bounds stuff that people do that they don't really mean it, but they offend people in these
Mm-hmm.
greetings. In these greetings. So we'll go ahead and do that now. It's 3 till. Rob, go trip over your cat and get a refill on your coffee or whatever you're doing, and I'll run a commercial.
I've got a story I want to tell on this too, and it's I got to figure out if I'm actually going to tell this one or not.
You got 2 minutes to figure it out.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, man.
I can't get up from the floor for tripping over the cat in 2 minutes.
We'll give you a head start.
Go get you.
All right,
We'll be back in a second. Well, 2 minutes. Hey, Southern Fried fans and your Cornbread Nation. Well, yeah, that's right. We're going to advertise for Mammoth Nation. To all proud Americans, we call attention to these thoughts. Are you tired of woke corporations that don't align with your values? I know we are. Look no further than Mammoth Nation, the ultimate destination for patriots like you and me and Rob and everybody else, including old crazy Uncle Jeb, who believe in putting America first. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we're proud to partner with Mammoth Nation because they share our unwavering commitment to faith, family, and yes, freedom. Just like us, Mammoth Nation believes in the power of the American spirit and the importance of preserving our great nation's heritage. When you join Mammoth Nation, you're not just getting access to amazing discounts on products and services, you're becoming a part of a community that stands against the forces trying to tear our country apart. From supporting veterans and first responders to promoting Christian values, Mammoth Nation is the go-to platform for conservatives who want to make their voices heard. So what are you waiting for? Join the Mammoth Nation movement today and start enjoying exclusive deals from businesses that share your America First values. Together, we can make America great again, one purchase at a time. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support a company that truly cares about our nation's future. Sign up for Mammoth Nation now and experience the difference of a community that puts America first. Use that QR code on the screen, folks, and that will take you right to the website where we also will be helped in your support of these values. We are customers of this great American company. Rob is a monthly supporter, and I am a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. We're so appreciative of companies like this. Please be a supporter, not just for us, but for America. These companies need our support. We're patriots. Stand together with patriots. Take care, and God bless.
Yes, Robert and Dave, y'all.
Southern Fried Podcast fans, this is Dave in the AM. I want to tell you about our store. We've been promoting it a little bit. We wanted to promote it a little bit more and let you know we've been adding some designs to it, and we're continuing to do that. Right now, there's a summer sale going on. You're going to see here in just a second what kind of discounts you can get. They're pretty amazing. Our old store became cumbersome and it was not easily updated, and we have since went to a new store, and the old one is still there, and if you decide to shop there, that's fine. But this is our new store, and it is so easy for us to manage, and we want to thank the folks at Threadless for that. So on the screen right now, you see some shirts, some of the different designs. One of our newest one is the Georgia outline, the red one. We really like that. You see some of our classic designs. You see some here that you may not have seen before. And again, we're designing and adding to just about every week. You see hats. There is just about anything in there. And we're trying to add more products all the time, as well as those new designs. So go shop at the Southern Fried Podcast store, and you'll be able to get some of these things too. Here's the QR code for that. You can see at the top of the page, 40% off right now. These are amazing prices going on. The store is very affordable. Me and Rob wanted as best the prices as we could get. And this is the place that we found to be able to do it. And there's the address. You can copy that out or use the QR code. We thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and watching the shows and supporting us and letting us know how much you enjoy it. You mean a lot to us. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Hey, Southern Fried Podcast fans. This is Dave the AM for the Southern Fried Podcast. We want to advertise for W, who's got some special things going on. So, are you tired of those energy drinks that you drink and they give you the jitters and the crashes that come from the typical drink? Look no further than W Energy Drink. It's a revolutionary new beverage that will keep you energized without any of those downsides. For a limited time, folks, a limited time, W is offering an incredible 30% off on everything they sell. That's right. You can stock up on your favorite flavors and save big while enjoying the smooth, sustained energy that only W can provide. I'm a customer member and I can testify to this. I love this drink. No shakes, no crashes. And if it can help my mental acuity, I'm happy too. Awesome. They have a unique formula that provides you a perfect balance of focus and vitality without any of those unpleasant side effects that we don't want. No more of those shaking hands, crashing you in the middle of the day. Just pure clean energy to help you tackle any challenge that comes your way. But don't wait too long. This 30% offer won't last forever. Go on over to W's website now and start shopping. Remember to smash that promo code Southern Fried into the area where they ask you to put that in there, and it'll help us as well. You're still going to get the 30%, but it'll let them know that you are supporting us, and so we appreciate it today. So try a W Energy drink and experience the difference for yourself. Your body and mind will thank you for making the switch to the energy drink that truly delivers on its promises. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save big and upgrade your energy game with W. Don't forget, use that promo code Southern Fried. We're back.
Yes, we are.
Robert survived the cat. Miss
Yeah.
Elizabeth
Survived
survived.
walking the
Yeah,
dogs.
walking the dog
I did.
in a trailer park.
Mobile home park.
What's the difference between a mobile home park and a trailer park?
I don't know, but this one's fancy.
It's fancy.
It's fancy.
So,
All right. Our topic is phrases, words, expressions that could be okay, but might be out of bounds.
Offensive.
So let's expand this topic a little bit. There are some people, I don't think they mean anything by it, but they say things like to short people, they call them shorty. And I've known for a fact people that this has bothered. Or they're a little chunky and they call them biggin. Things like that.
I got one for you.
All right.
So, the school I worked at, the charter school, I was the only Caucasian person there. And I was called Whitey.
Oh,
Mm.
that is way out of bounds. Wow.
But, yeah. It was just by one person for a few months till I finally had enough. And I got so aggravated. And I just when she did it the last time, I just was standing there and I was just like trying to think of what to say. Because I couldn't say what I wanted to say. Because I didn't want to be offensive. And I said, okay, Brownie.
I'll bet she didn't like that.
She didn't. And She was like, oh, I can't believe you called me that. I said, well, don't call me Whitey. It's just as offensive when you call me Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else, she went and told somebody else that I called her that. And she said, well, she had every right to call you that. What have you been calling her? It's wrong for you to call her that.
Yeah. The wrong is both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Our country,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, only sort of focuses on one way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's wrong, and that's the kind of thing. I mean, it's just why do people think it's okay? Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw I was watching some reels the other day and I saw somebody that was saying where they were, and this may have been an old reel, I don't know, where they was saying to get rid of um, gender or something like that. And they said, well, instead of getting rid of gender, um, why don't we get rid of race? Just make us one race, the human race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems that seems better than getting rid of gender. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there for a long time, it seemed like nobody gave a crap what anybody's skin color was. We just didn't care. We didn't care. And
I
then
barely.
all of a sudden, the them said, well, they care. Everybody cares. It was your color. We don't care.
Mm-mm.
We really don't. I promise you. I don't care what color your skin is. That
I
don't bother me in the least bit. I don't
some
care
of
if
my
you got
best.
hair, don't got hair, fat, skinny. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know, you're all a bunch of heathens anyway. We're all sinners that come short of the glory of God. Ain't none of us any better than the other ones. What does it matter?
It
Huh.
reminds it
Y'all
reminds
believe
me, um, it reminds me of the scene in the movie uh, The Great Outdoors where the dude's been hit by lightning so many times, so he's got the little lightning streak.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Nucky was Mr. Insensitive. You know, he don't mean nothing by it, but he's like, it's kind of an interesting hairdo you got there, like a neo something, whatever he said. And John Candy cracks me up in that scene because he's like, "Will you stop like that?" You know, I mean, just why do you say that to him? You know, like I didn't mean nothing by it. I love that scene, and they
Yes.
didn't know that he had been struck by lightning. What was 66 times, and he starts stuttering. So they absolutely make fun of that, like it's like.
Yeah. I still think one of the greatest moments in a movie ever was with John Candy and Steve Martin in the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where they're sharing the bed at the motel and they're sleeping in the bed together. And they wake up the next morning and John Candy's got his arm thrown over Steve Martin. They're laying there. Why do you have your arm laid over me like that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm used to sleeping with my wife. Where's your other hand? Was it between two pillows? Where's
I
my pillows?
love that movie. I love it.
Oh, how about that Bears game? Yeah.
But we typically see a lot of people get in trouble, and there are rules at work. There's things you can't say at work, and
Yeah.
age discrimination. A lot. I mean, people don't realize, but some of these things fall into age discrimination.
Like old timer.
Yeah, you can't say that to somebody. Hey, old timer. Yeah, you can't do it.
You know, but wait a minute. I'm gonna back up 10 in front here. I remember when you and I worked together, there was a lot of mean things said to people. And yes, that was a different time and a different age. I know that. But and everybody wasn't so sensitive about it. But you know, we had a lot of fun just giving each other a hard time.
Yeah,
And it was done.
you would have never made it a week in today's world in that same environment.
Oh, I would, but I'd have watched what I said because I had to. But I'm just saying, we lost something.
He wouldn't have made it a week.
We lost something.
Don't let him fool you. He was doing things out of bounds then, and he knew it was out of bounds. You were making fun of a guy with
great joy in doing it.
You were making fun of a guy with orange hair, and don't lie.
With orange hair?
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this. With orange hair.
It's tough getting old, ain't it?
It must be. I don't remember that. That sounds like that was pretty doggone fun considering how I'm redheaded too, but I'm trying to remember which orange haired guy it was. I don't remember any orange haired guy.
There was only one.
You're not talking about Coolio, are you?
But when
his hair was.
But when you go out, the guy that I knew quit going to a church because every time he walked in, the pastor would go, "Hey, Shorty." He never called him by his name. And I think sometimes people that are shorter in stature or whatever they are, they tend to go on the offensive and go ahead and kind of diffuse it because they've had it happen so many times. They're almost a little gunshot.
We call that little man syndrome.
No, that's no. I'm not talking about that. No. That's a whole other thing. I'm talking about where they come in and they go ahead and poke fun at themselves because they'll say, "Well, you know me, I'm short" or something. I don't think they really enjoy that. I think they just go ahead and own it so that they can't get hurt no more because people do that to them so much. And it goes the other way too. Tall people get aggravated just as much as really short people.
Mm-hmm.
You see, for me, I'm not the tallest guy in the world. My uncle's a lot taller than I am. Dave, you're a lot taller than I am, but you've never made a deal about it. I mean, most people don't because I'm, kind of average. My uncle used to give me a hard time about it all the time. What's it like down there? Stuff like that. I'm just using my uncle for an example. Okay. Now, he doesn't do that anymore, but when I was growing up, because I was always short and dumpy, and he was tall and skinny, and that's fine, But like, and my way of handling that now today, is, well, what's up, shorty or fatty or whatever, and I say, hey, your wife / girlfriend, whatever, needs to quit telling my secrets. And then just turn around and walk away, and let them think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't like that, then they may think, well, you know what? Maybe I should just poke the bear. If it's Jenny, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Don't do that. Don't do it.
I'm just saying it's a real thing because you get
but don't do it.
You get hit with it so much, it's like you go on the offensive.
Yeah.
Along that same line, it's innocent maybe, but it's still wrong. Let's say you're at we could say a church dinner or a family reunion, and somebody says, "That's all you're going to eat?" Oh, I know you can eat a whole lot more than that. I mean, look, you eat a lot. You're a big guy. Big people don't always eat a lot. It's got nothing to do with how much you eat. I've known people that were very fit, very tiny, could out eat anybody in the room. But people assume that, and they'll say, "Oh, we're going to load you up because you eat more." No, I don't eat that much. Sure, you do. It's offensive. It is offensive.
Well, I mean, putting yourself down. When I moved into my home here, I had some ground rules. And I try to let everybody know what my ground rules are. Okay? I don't let anybody put anybody else down here. This is my home. I want to feel safe here, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I want other people that come to my home to feel the same way. Uh, so I don't put up with doing it to other people.
Do
I
you
don't.
believe? Do you believe that crap all up, Miss Elizabeth? Do you believe
Right
he? Do you believe he's telling the truth here?
on that, yeah.
No, he's lying, and I can
No, I'm
prove it.
not.
I can prove it.
All right, let's hear it.
He made me stand by a tractor and had my son take a picture, and he walks up at me and acts like he's kissing me.
But that's not putting you down.
That's offensive.
Well, I didn't say I wouldn't be offensive. I said I wouldn't put you down or wouldn't let nobody else put you
What
down.
do you think?
You liked it. Don't try to act like you didn't. But what I'm saying is, like, my former brother-in-law was here, okay, and he was bad about putting himself down. I said, quit it, stop it. Well, I'm just a big dummy. No, don't do it. It ain't worth it. You don't put yourself down. And he was like, okay. And I worked with him. I finally got him to quit it. I was amazed. I was happy for him, you know. And then his sister came down here to visit him, and she came over here, and she looked at him and she said, "You big dummy, what are you doing?" I said, "Whoa, stop that. Don't call him dummy. Oh, it's just my brother. I don't care if it is your brother. Don't do it. We don't do that here. But he is a big dummy. I don't know. No, you can leave anytime you want to. You go right back up that road right there that you came in on. It'll take you out to the highway, and you go somewhere else. But you ain't doing that here, you know." And Chris was like, "What?" You know, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." She quit. You know, I really don't. No. And as far as weight shaming people, all right, I'm a big guy. I'm fat. I know it. I know it. I can't hide it from nobody. Dear Lord, I'm not as fat as I used to be, but I'm fat. And I recognize that fact in me. It's not a character flaw. I can't get out and exercise like I used to. I had to really watch what I eat. And I don't like it because I like to eat. I'll be honest about it. Uh, but, you know, I'm holding in steady weight, you know. I'm not losing no more, but I ain't gaining no more. So, you know, people have to exist and you have to be happy with what you are. You can't change nothing if you're not happy with yourself because you don't think you're worth changing or being happy. You got to be happy with who and what you are, and then you can make changes. But don't you dare let anybody else tell you anything about you, or don't you take it to heart what other people think, because what they think does not matter. The only one that matters is what you think. And if you ain't happy with you, then that's on you. But you don't let anybody else dictate your happiness. No, I'll jump off
So,
my soapbox
so if
now.
you were at a restaurant and the waitress brings your check and she says, "Will there be any dessert?" And you go, "Oh no, I don't think I could do dessert." And she looks at you and goes, "I believe you got enough left. You could put down some dessert, bub. How about me bring you a piece of that lemon meringue pie?"
And I look at her and say, "Lady, I'm diabetic. I can't eat dessert. Thank you for throwing that back in my face."
Because I've heard them say that.
I have too. And that's my response. You know, I can't eat the sugar. That's why I told you I didn't want dessert. I'm diabetic. Thank you for throwing it back in my face.
But
Bring me
you,
some ice cream.
but
Bring me
you,
some ice cream so I can drown my sorrows.
but you know what? Sometimes, and I've been known to do this, I'll order dessert first.
That's it.
Ah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Mm.
Just because I want to.
On that note, did you know there are some restaurants that will not let an adult order a child's portion?
Yes.
What? Why?
I don't know. They're crazy.
I knew these two older people. One of them's deceased now. The other one's still alive and kicking, doing well. She told me that. And we were at a restaurant. I took them there. As a pastor, I took them out there. And she asked the lady, because they don't eat a lot. They're older. They're slowed down. They just kind of pick at their food. They eat, but they don't eat a lot. And she said, "Can I order the child's portion?" And the lady said, "Sure." I said, "Why did you ask her that?" She goes, "Oh, there's a lot of places won't let me do it. They say I'm not a kid and I'm cheating them." She goes, "But I waste. If they bring me an adult portion, half of it goes to the garbage. And I really don't like leftovers, so I don't take it with me. Or we're traveling a lot. I don't really take it with me because they travel a lot between countries. I just don't really do that." And I'd never heard that before.
So sometimes when I'm having a flare up, I can't eat a lot, and I have to eat the child's portions of stuff. And there's restaurants that won't let me order the child's portions. And there's sometimes
I don't understand it though. You're still making money. It ain't like it's an all you can eat that you're getting for $7.99 instead of $12.99 or whatever.
Well, there you go.
And
it says, at least if I order to go, I can order mama kids.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't know.
Yeah. And like I can't. That's why I don't do buffets. Is because I feel like I'm losing money on the buffet.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat enough on a buffet. Even when I eat regular meals, I still don't eat enough on a buffet to benefit a $12.99 or $15.99 meal.
Well, I eat at the Chinese buffet here in Colquitt. I generally go once to the buffet. I'll go one time through, usually. Sometimes I may go back and get one or two other things. But usually I go through once and I get a bowl of egg drop soup, whatever. But for me, eating up there, because they cook such small portions and they keep it fresh out there, it's fine. Yeah, I normally don't go to buffets. The bigger buffets, I like them a lot less than I do that one.
I've noticed some buffets that have asked people to leave.
Really?
They were eating only one thing off the buffet and they were killing it. Fried chicken or the seafood portion or whatever. Rocking it.
Me and a couple buddies of mine.
They were losing money.
Yeah.
Me and a couple buddies of mine went to an all-you-can-eat shrimp thing. And that was going on. And I asked the guy that ran the place, I said, I'm going to bring a couple buddies of mine down. Are y'all still going to have the all-you-can-eat shrimp thing? He said, yes. All right. So the next weekend I brought, and I was pretty good size then. I was, 220. Brought a buddy of mine. I ain't going to call his name. He weighed about 300. He brought another buddy of mine who we weighed on the hog scales. And he tipped the scales over 450. Now I walked in, I said, hey, you still got that all-you-can-eat shrimp? He said, yeah, good. I brought you some business. And when the one guy walked in, his eyes went, all right. And when the 450-pounder walked in, it looked like a cyclops. Them two eyes got so big, it just made like one big old eye right in his head. So they bring us out shrimp, right, on a platter. And we eat the shrimp. And the 450-pounder goes, I need some more shrimp. And they brought him out this little, those little salad bowls you get on the buffet? They brought him out about 4 shrimp, one of them little salad bowls. Let me tell you something. I didn't know he had it in him. That 450-pound young man stood up in 2 chairs. He had 1 foot on one chair and 1 foot on the other chair and announced, I came here for all you can eat shrimp. Bring me some dad-blame shrimp. Boy, they brought out a big old salad bowl. Great old big round bowl. Bound it up.
As they called 911.
Seriously.
we went laid out, boy. Said, "Don't you ever come back in here again."
Hey, listen, is Barry still on here?
I don't know. Barry, you still out
Barry,
there?
Barry, are you still here?
Barry.
I have something I need to tell him.
No,
He's gonna get the biggest laugh out of this.
I don't know.
It's so funny. I'll give him a minute to respond.
Dave, it'd be almost like having Cook go out to a buffet.
Well, I will tell you my Cook buffet story in a second. I was waiting to see if Barry responded. He might have got hungry and went for something to eat after all the food talk.
Well, listen, while we're waiting to see if Barry's still here, I'll tell y'all this. A long time ago, and I've only known of them to do it one time, Red Lobster had an all-you-can-eat crab legs. Yeah, I've only known them to do it one time. And they had it, I think, over a weekend or during a week or something like that. And my husband and I were still married at the time. And we love crab legs. We loved them. We went one night and we ate, I think, maybe 5 pounds between the both of us that one night. Okay. We went like 3 nights later. I had not ate any. I had ate breakfast. I didn't eat lunch. We went for dinner. He said he had breakfast and then he didn't eat anything for lunch. We were both starving. We ate like 7.5 pounds of crab.
So you're the reason why they didn't have it more than one weekend.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm telling you. I'm sure they lost a ton of money on that deal. I am sure. Barry, I have to tell you this because you're going to get the biggest laugh out of this. I stopped when I went back home this weekend. I stopped to get the mail out of my mailbox. Well, lo and behold, if a piece of doggone mail didn't fall to the ground. And it was already getting dark, and I didn't want to have to get out of the car because the dogs was in the car with me. I thought to myself, I really could use one of those little grabber things that Barry was talking about.
Dang right.
Get that piece of mail, reach out my window to get that piece of mail off the ground.
Yeah.
It sure would have come in handy.
I like them grabbers.
Those grabbers are kind of essential to getting home.
Well, it would have really come in handy just to grab it and reach out of the car and pick that piece of mail up.
I bought one for my wife so she can hang clothes up.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
She can't quite reach the
listen,
thing. So
I am vertically challenged because I'm only 5'2". And so when you get some things up on the top shelf, you just can't reach it all the time. And so I have been known to get a pair of tongs out of the drawer and use those to reach them and pull it down.
Wait a minute. There was a song about people like that. There was a song.
See, while he's looking that up, Cook called me one night. Cook, if you out there, brother, love you, miss you. And he can't lie. He knows this is true. He called me and Lynn up and said, hey, if y'all take me and Mom out to, what was that buffet over there by Target for all those years? Duff's?
Yes.
Duff's Smorgasbord? He said, we want to go to Duff's. We'll buy you a meal if you'll take us out. Their car was broke down or something. I said, well, you ain't got to do that. We'll just go out there. I mean, we'll buy our own. I know Lynn would like to go. I don't remember who paid. I don't remember if he did or we did. I don't know. But we went. It reminded me of it what you said a while ago. So I ain't even been to a buffet in a while. So I go around, I come back with a regular plate of vegetables, meats, whatever. Cook has like 2 plates of sweets. I said, brother, you think they gonna run out? He goes, no, I'm starting with the sweets because I'm smart. I'll get mine before, in case they do run out. I'll already have my sweets. This brother's got cakes and pies and cookies. I said, my God, man, that looks like a meal right there. He goes, I said, well, when are you going to eat the regular food? He said, oh, after the sweets. I thought, there ain't no way. He ate 4 plates of sweets. 4.
Oh, my.
I'm sitting here watching all this. So then he goes up, he gets his first plate of, and when I say plate, kind of needs sideboards on. He comes back, he's sitting there eating. Well, after his second regular food plate, we're finishing up. You know, we're sipping our coffees and having some light conversation with Mom there as Cook is devouring his now sixth plate between sweets and regular food. At plate number 8, as it was put on the stack of dirty plates, I don't know why they didn't come pick them up, and he was headed back, I said, hey, we're just going to go over at Target and shop while you finish up, if it's all right. And his mom said, yeah, I'd like to go shop. He said, oh, no problem. I think he ended up eating 12 plates of food, is what he told
Holy
me.
cow.
So we're shopping around there. I think we bought a couple things. I look up. This is God's honest truth. I look up and Cook is flying through the the automatic doors, and he's in the wind. Now Cook's a big guy. He's 6'4", 6'4", 6'5". At that time, he was probably about 350, but it's kind of an in shape 350. He's a big guy. Looked like a lineman, but not a fat lineman. Cook's in the wind. He's got this button-up shirt on. He's got a t-shirt, white t-shirt, blue jeans. Well, that button-up shirt looked like a cape behind him. He was moving so fast, it was flowing out behind him. I thought, oh my God, he looks like he's headed to the back of the store, to where the restrooms are. So, I told my wife, I said, I'm glad I don't got to go to the bathroom. I think Cook just invaded the bathrooms. He was gone for a long time. When he came out, and he did look lighter, he said, woo, rubbing his belly. I said, hey man, where's your shirt? The cape is gone, the button up. He said, well, he said, I had to go real bad, and Duff's, all the toilets were full. Somebody was in there. So he said, I didn't quite make it. He said, I got set down, but I couldn't get the shirt out of the way. He said, I had to just throw that shirt in the garbage. He said, now this is his words, as I switched stalls because I filled one toilet up, I just threw the shirt away and went in the next toilet.
Why didn't you just flush it?
I know.
I'm like,
that's a courtesy flush, dude.
I'm like, dude, tell me you flushed those toilets before you left. No, I was afraid I couldn't get it down. I just came on.
Oh, my.
That's my Cook story.
He's going to kill you.
He will kill me.
He is going to beat. He's going to beat you.
But I owe him. I owe him for the rest of my life. This is the guy. This is the guy. This is the guy that on the way to Atlanta to play a joke looked at me and said something about some girl, and then said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that." Because he said, "It's like that girl, right, Dave?" And I looked back at him like, "What are you talking about?" And my wife looks at me and says, "What girl?" I said, "There ain't no girl." Of course, we spent the next 45 minutes. She didn't believe my story. And I looked up in the mirror at Cook and I said, "You are dead. You are dead." So every time I tell that story, it's just a little payback. I love him. He's my brother, but
Well, when y'all were talking about getting the tongs to get stuff off the top shelf, and Lynn getting the grabbers to hang stuff up, I was reminded of my mother, and she was short as well. And there was a song that came out years ago that I used to love to play for my mother, and I would like to take this opportunity to play it for Miss Elizabeth and Miss Lynn. And Dave, you'll have to play this for Lynn later. But here we go. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason to live. They got little hands, little eyes, to walk around telling great big lies. They got little noses, tiny little teeth. Yeah, well, that's won't shoot on the nasty little feet. Well, I don't want no short people. Don't want no short people.
cool.
I don't know if I played that for Lynn.
I'm not playing that. I went ahead and dropped the YouTube. We'll get in trouble for that. I just dropped it out of the stream. We don't have too much.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That way we don't get a flag. Miss Jen
You
said,
ain't never heard that song before?
I don't know if she's heard it or not. And I dang sure ain't going to ask her.
I ain't never heard it.
You ain't never heard Short People?
No.
Uh,
You know they not talking about like my short kind of people.
I know. Well, no, they're talking about short people. They're not talking about midgets.
Barry just said that
I'm sorry. That is an insensitive word.
Barry
They're
just
not
said
talking about the way vertically challenged, just the slightly vertically challenged.
Barry just said you're going to hell for that.
Look.
You go, Barry.
I used to play
I
that.
think I'm gonna have to get me one of those grabbers because I'm about convinced it is convenient.
And look, I'm not picking on you or Janet or anybody else that's short out there. I'm not picking on y'all. I said I used to play it for my mother who was short.
Do you remember? You may not remember, but Ozzy Osbourne, that crazy English
chicken-headed ripping off
dude, showrun. He on his I don't remember if it was the first or second tour with Randy Rhoads, Blizzard of Oz, or the other one. But he hired this guy. It's a true story. He hired this guy that was vertically challenged. We'll just say he was a little people. And he paid him good money every show to bring out in the middle of the show a bottle of whiskey to him on like a silver tray or something like that, I think, if I remember. He thought it was the funniest thing. Can you imagine the news nowadays if you did something like that?
Oh, man.
But this guy would come out, that'd stop the show, he'd get him Wow, we just got disconnected from Instagram too. That's not happened in like months.
Wow.
They said after 1 hour like they used to. They said, blank you. They must not
Well,
like your song either. We just got kicked
See
on
what you
Instagram.
did? See what you did? Dude.
it says they currently disconnect streams after 1 hour.
But they have not done that to us in months. It's kind of
I'm
funny
sorry.
they did it on the night that you play that song.
Well, I need to play the song again so I can get my money's worth. Play the whole thing.
No, you don't. That's not a nice song.
Do you remember, Dave? There's a road up there called Cloud Springs, and when you're leaving Fort O, there used to be a great big billboard about car seats that said 47 is the magic number.
I don't remember that
It was
particular
up
billboard.
there forever. And my mom and I drove past it one time when she was up there visiting, and we went past that sign. And I looked at the sign, I looked at her, and I went, and she looked at me, she said, "You shut the hell up." I said, "You need a booster?" "No, I don't need a booster." Not
Rob.
Ever. What do you mean still not nice? What?
I agree, Janice.
Oh, no. Look, y'all. Y'all are giving everybody the wrong impression of me.
You
It's
doing
my
that
goal in
yourself.
life to go around and be kind and courteous to one and all. I want to leave everybody a little better than there was when I walked in the room. I want smiles and sunshine and rainbows and yeah.
Give everybody a bag of Skittles.
Yeah.
Take
That's what
the
everybody feels. Skittles.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
We're at $49.99.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Like
goodness.
$49,999.
Did you hear what I said, Rob?
About the Skittles?
Taste the rainbow.
You can't do that to me.
Well, I would have said something else at the end of it, but I'm trying to be nice.
She tried to be nice. And there it is. 50,000. Just did it.
Whoop. There we go. Hey, we made it a week early.
We thank you, folks.
Yes.
Everybody that's in here that follows.
Yes.
If you're not following, follow. So you can be part of the celebration.
Yes. There we go. 50,000 followers in our first year. In less than our first year.
Yeah, less than.
Wow. There we go.
I was more excited than y'all. Dear heavens.
Well, we're not
still kind of awestruck.
Well, yeah, it's that, but I think we both feel bad tonight. We're not our normal chipper self.
Well,
you all can't go down that road.
What do you mean can't go down that road?
Don't. I got y'all all beat.
Uh-oh.
Woohoo!
There you go.
Yay!
Thank you.
I got to tell you, I had Kaylee not rolling. She was looking at me like the crazy grandpa the other day. I was messing with her. I said, Kaylee, I was at the hospital, and I said, if you don't want people to mess with you, I said, there's a simple answer to it. She goes, what? I said, just act like you're crazy.
Right.
I said, go up to people and ask, people don't like crazy. It messes with them. Put your hat on sideways, talk funny, slobber coming out of your mouth. They'll run. So I told her, was in the parking deck, I said, why don't I just walk up to one of these nurses that's coming on duty? Why don't I go up and say, excuse me, could you tell me where the mental hospital is? And Kaylee said, I'm going to run to the truck. I'm not. I said, well, it sounds like something Uncle Jeb would say. She goes, yeah, you're a lot like him. I'm not going to stand around you while you talk crazy. But it's true. People don't like crazy.
When I started working in synthetics and you first met me, you think I didn't realize that?
There's a difference in that story, Rob. Rob, you are crazy.
I had so much.
You were just being you.
And then as you got to know me, you realized probably that guy was yanking my chain so hard.
No, it was 6 months later, and you were still saying the same things. And now it's 30 years later, and you're still saying the same things. Come on, man. Come on, Joe.
New material.
Corn Pop.
Corn Pop? I know you didn't just call me Corn Pop. All right, you call me Corn Pop if you want to there, Fruity Pebble. Oh, wait. That might be something else that we could offend people by calling them at the Waffle House. Thank you, Barry. And thank you, everyone, for helping us make that number. You know, we couldn't have done it without y'all. There ain't no way. I mean, you know, we've got 50,000 now in our first year. Wow. That is pretty strong. And then we've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's humbling. It really is. You know, I remember when we started off, Dave was like, "Hey, we got 5 followers now." I was like, "Hey, it won't be no time. We'll have 10." Then we got 10 followers, and well, you think we'll ever get 100? Maybe. And we turn around, we got 100, and then we started getting excited. You know, one day we might be counting these in the thousands. And then we truck on. Next thing you know, we got 5,000. It was like, wow, you know, it's actually going. And then we've watched it build over this year, and now it's at 50. That is humbling.
It's crazy
and awesome. Yeah, 2 old rednecks and our other family members like Miss Elizabeth and Steve and all you guys that come in, cook. Chris helped out. I mean, all the ones that helped. And our regular ones that come in, like Miss Jenneth and Barry, and it's just, and Michael. I mean, it just, Steve. You know, you can't throw enough out there, enough thanks out there. It's been a wild and crazy ride.
All the Rumble folks that have assisted us and helped us and spread the word. People like Chris. Yes, we wouldn't be nowhere near where we're at without Chris. He made all the early logos, every one of them.
Yes.
I have since taken that over, but he made the SFP logo, which we still use. He made all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's amazing. Today we actually opened the bank account for the business for the Southern Fried Cornbread Nation, and we hit 50,000 today. That actually all happened today. It boggles my mind. It really just boggles my mind.
And those folks out there on Rumble, if you wonder who they are, there they are, some of them. Kim's Coffee Talk, Dialogue Box, she was on there this morning. Angry Conservative, Half Pine Forge, that's old Steve there. Empty Pockets Podcast, Killer Carl. Hey, thank y'all for all the support. We do appreciate it. Oh. Miss Elizabeth, we appreciate you coming on here every Monday night so we can have a mama on here for Mama Said.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you were the missing piece, and I kept telling Rob, you can't be Mama. He kept trying to come with a Mama perspective. I'm like, you can't do Mama, dude.
No, he can't.
I can't. You know,
you're not that. What's that little dude's name that tries to be the Mama? He did the Bud Light ads. What's that little dude's name? Dylan something. You know, he's the guy that dresses up as the girl and crushed a beer company.
Oh, the Bud Light?
Yeah.
That was Bud Light.
I know who you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I'll get you a name here in just a sec.
I think I need a facelift. Look. What you think? If I want to go like that, it looks much better.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
What?
That's it.
No, look. I'm gonna show you.
Okay. Let's see what you got there.
You see it in the look. You go back.
Hmm. Your turn, Dave.
That was flattening out the cheek a little bit.
Oh, I ain't doing that.
Come on, Dave.
Good, Dave. Come on, do it. Hey, we got 50,000 now. Do it.
$10,000.
I would look like mine would be the other way. Y'all look fine. I would look bad. Bad.
You'd stretch that thing. Probably so much loose. You can't stretch it all the way back. Hold it back with a clothespin.
No, that's too much.
Oh, that's not very nice. Dave, it wouldn't take that. Just do like it. You can do it. Come on, Dave.
Barry says you
Barry,
don't need.
you don't need a facelift.
He's talking to Miss
What?
Elizabeth too. He's not talking to you. Barry says you don't need a facelift.
Oh, well, thank you, Barry. I couldn't afford it anyway, Barry. It costs like $10,000.
Robert needs a butt lift.
Well, that'd be the same thing as a facelift for me. That would be the same as a facelift for me, Dave. Oh, very nice. Y'all need nice lessons.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, you didn't even say nothing. You could have popped out there with a hey. You shouldn't say mean things, but no.
Well, let's be nice.
Hey, and next Monday night is our birthday, right? I don't know if we'll be on. It's a holiday. If y'all can be on, I don't know if that day will preclude any of you from being on. Robert's going to be out
Well,
there.
look, in honor of our birthday, I'm going to be doing the morning show, hopefully from the balcony overlooking the Gulf of America.
Why don't you just keep rubbing that in?
Yeah. Well, we got to have a birthday party.
Yeah. What do you say? I need a butt lift, but I need a heister. They say about when guys get older, they lose their butts. Their butts go away. That's right. Jennifer, you were supposed to be at the beach right now. Right now.
And she got stuck in her garage. What the heck?
I know. Well, yeah, she's supposed to be down there right now.
I know, Janice. Why are you not there?
You had to place some rotors.
She had to place the rotors on her truck.
Uh-oh.
And rotors, they be expensive.
They do.
Expensive. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's been so long since I've been down to the Redneck Riviera, though. I'm gonna have to remember if I can remember how to backstroke or anything. I gotta go try on my men's bikini swim trunks, my Speedo.
Please don't.
Well, I'm not gonna try them on for y'all. I'm gonna try them on for when I get down to the beach.
God help Chuck.
Please buy regular swim trunks.
Poor Chuck.
Regular.
Oh, she's going June the 1st. Now. Oh.
Regular swim trunks, man.
Why do I need regular swim trunks? Look. When you got all this good looking stuff here, you don't want to hide it.
You're not hiding everything up top, man.
Oh. What am I hiding?
I think she's saying you need support.
You hiding everything
down low?
Uh-huh.
Well, I may just want to go down and just show off what I got. You never know. I mean, women folk go down there and wear them bikini bottoms. I don't know why I can't wear a Speedo.
They don't need to. Some of them don't need to. They need whole pictures. this, honey.
It's not like anybody's going to see the thing. I got so many fat rolls, you won't even be able to see it.
Listen. A lot of these women have fat rolls if they let them hang out them bikinis. And
I know. I just don't lop it over the front and then the back. I'll be good to go. Or the front and the sides, all you'll be able to see is that little streak going up between my floss. It'll be all right. I wait to see what the comments are, and I'm surprised. There's no comments coming up. Everybody's kind of grossed out. I think everybody just threw up a little bit.
listen, I'm telling you, these women that wear these bikinis with these extra round bodies, I don't know why. Who told them that was okay? Who? Because they need to be smacked.
They come to Walmart like that.
I
Look,
know.
look,
And these women need to
look.
be
Hey,
smacked.
hey,
The people
hey.
at the front door that's letting them in need to be saying, I'm sorry, you need to come in with a whole outfit.
Look. If they want to go to the beach wearing a bikini, they go to the beach. If they are confident enough and that makes them feel good, go ahead.
They do not need to be traumatizing kids.
Well, you know what?
Let them go to a
You
nudie
should
beach.
be looking at them.
Let them go to a nudie beach.
What?
Let them go to a nudie beach that I don't have to see them.
Well, what if it's some little petite, 20-year-old out there wearing a bikini? Is that okay?
If she got the body for it, yeah.
Well, that girl's got plenty of body and she wants to wear it. She's comfortable doing it. Let her do it. It ain't no more nasty for her, that skinny girl to do it, and it is the big girl to do it. And she's comfortable enough to do it, let her do it. She can be proud of who she is. She can wear what she wants to. We got y'all's back. Don't you worry. You may not decide, and like if I want to go to the beach, wear the Speedo. Joke about that a lot. I'm not really going to go to the beach wearing no Speedo. I may wear cutoffs and blue and cowboy boots, but I'm not going to wear a Speedo. That's my choice. I'm not comfortable with that. That doesn't make me feel macho. I'm going to wear my swim trunks, probably, and I'll probably wear a long sleeve shirt because I don't like getting sunburned. But that's me.
Why don't you just go as a sumo wrestler?
Well, I've heard that's how they harvest, that sushi stuff that they wrap those egg rolls with. When you go to sushi, then they wrap
that's
seafood
disgusting.
on the outside of it.
Rob,
I heard that's how they harvest
stop
it.
while you ahead.
Sumo wrestlers get out there.
Ugh,
What?
that's disgusting.
Y'all mean to tell me you ain't never been down to the beach and come back in and have a piece of seaweed in your trunk?
You grossing me out.
I'm not trying to gross you out. It happens. I mean, it's the ocean.
I'm going to say good night. It's 10 o'clock. I got to go to bed.
Sorry, I got the coughs. Well, Miss Elizabeth, you have a great, wonderful evening. Thank you for being on with us.
You're welcome. You're such a blatant.
Huh?
You're a heathen.
How am I a heathen?
You need rebuked. I'm going to call my nephew and have him rebuke you.
Hey, you better watch out, Rob. She's talking about the whole family coming after her. You got to watch out. The whole family be rolling down the highway. It'd be like that movie Next to Kin.
Oh.
I'm just going to tell him call you over the phone.
All right, your nephew?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a preacher.
What kind of preacher is he?
Look at that.
Don't matter. But
Don't worry about it.
look at that. They said seaweed's going to be bad this year. Whoop, whoop. Gonna make me some seaweed salad when I get home. Y'all have a great, wonderful night. Thank y'all for tuning in for Mama Said tonight. We're glad you did. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for helping us get to our 50,000 follower mark. Our first year, we greatly, greatly appreciate all the support. So, y'all have a great, wonderful night. We're going to give you a big old salute. And we will see y'all bright, squirrely Wednesday morning, if not sooner. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Mama said there would be days like this when Dave and Rob start